what's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music. They've actually let me out of the dungeon. I'm out in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee, and we are gonna go on a little guitar safari today. Now, I get asked all the time about buying your first guitar on a budget. Obviously, we're all looking to get the best thing we can get for the price. And you know, you've got websites like reverb.com or eBay or Craigslist, and you can find some good gems in there. But one of the issues, one of the big problems with that is that you can't actually put your hands on the guitar before purchasing it. We're gonna be going to pawn shops, and we're gonna be looking for the most discounted guitars we can find. You know, like a hidden gem somewhere. It could be scratched up, it doesn't matter, but we're looking for a deal, and then we're gonna fix up the guitar, give it some tender love, put a little elbow grease into it, and fix it up and see what we can do. So I'm focusing on a few different things when looking at the guitars. I want to get a sense of the build quality, what kind of wood is used, is there a lot of wear and tear, what's the condition of the hardware, meaning the tuning knobs and the bridge, how's the playability, even if it's got old strings on it. Many of these guitars had hardware issues. Basically, at all the points where the strings are physically touching the guitar, there were problems that would make buzzing sounds, or the strings would slip slightly, or the tuning knobs wouldn't stay in tune, wouldn't hold a tune. There were a few instruments we looked at that had some issues with the finish on the body. Spots were forming, there was buckling in the wood. These things don't really affect the playability right now, but could cause us trouble in the future. Eventually, I found an old Ovation Applause. Now, these guitars are famous for their plastic rounded backs. I was not expecting to like this guitar, but it checked all the boxes for me when it comes to the durability and playability. This guitar was the most fundamentally sound. Everything that would be good for a beginner was there. Solid construction, it was well set up, good playability, and the options to use this as an acoustic or to plug it in as an acoustic electric. Anything wrong with this was mainly cosmetic, and those issues are pretty easy fixes. All right, so we're back from the pawn shop, and I picked up this Applause acoustic guitar. Decent playing guitar, nothing fancy, obviously. It's an entry-level type of guitar, a beginner guitar. When you look at Reverb, eBay, Craigslist, this guitar is about $200 more than what I paid for it. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's very decent, but we're gonna go through the paces of dialing in every aspect of it to turn it from just kind of a okay beginner guitar to an amazing beginner guitar. All right, so let's just hear what it sounds like as is. All right, we've got a guitar here. It needs a little TLC. First, I'm gonna grab this D'Addario maintenance kit, and you'll see some of the goodies in here that we've got. First thing I'm gonna get is the ultimate tool that every guitar player needs, no matter what, is a string winder cutter, and it comes in this maintenance kit. So this guitar has definitely been played a lot. It's been beat. It's got a lot of dings and dirty, and so we're definitely gonna restring the guitar. But before we put new strings on it, we're gonna clean the whole thing, condition the fretboard, clean the frets, make sure all the hardware is tightened, and then if it needs it, we may adjust the truss rod as well, which on an acoustic guitar, we can help straighten the neck out and lower the string action a little bit. And then obviously, just, give it some love, give it some polishing and some cleaning. So I'm gonna trim these strings off here. I'm gonna just loosen the strings a little bit just in case they snap back. I like to clip strings around the 9th fret or so, and I'll show you why. This is not something I learned from anyone. It's just changing strings a lot on my own. But I'll show you why. It's really about the ease of cleaning it up. And when you trim it around the, 9th fret or so, you get a very similar length on the other end. As you can see, they're very similar in length. And then that way, I don't lose or step on a sharp string later barefoot. See that? So one string now is just in a nice ring, and I can just collect them all and throw them away later. All right. All right, now that we have the strings off, I'm gonna get out the cleaning kits. This is a great kit here. It comes with very user-friendly instructions on which steps to take first. We are gonna polish and clean this guitar, and then we're gonna specifically clean the frets. Each of these treatments has a number as far as which step to take. So we're gonna take the detailer, but it says step 1, so we know which step we're at. And we're just gonna pour a little bit on a cloth. Circular motion. All right, we got some detailer on there, and I'm just gonna take the other side and just the dry part of it and just kind of rub it away. Hopefully someone's musical dreams weren't too crushed when they got rid of this guitar. I think that's all you need for that. All right, so now we're gonna go to step 2. It says step 2 right on the bottle. It's the guitar wax. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna polish the body down. There we go, a little bit of wax there. So you just let a little kind of coating. You don't just completely wipe it off. You let it sit there for a few minutes. Then you take a clean part of the towel and just shine it, shine. This guitar has never been this clean. I know we're musicians, but hopefully you can count to 3 out there, because this is step number 3. This is the spray cleaner. We can just go ham on this baby. All right, we went through the 3-step system for cleaning the body of this guitar. Now we're moving to the fretboard, and this needs some love. So we've got the Hydrate fingerboard conditioner. I'm gonna find a spot on this that's dry. It's got oils and cleaners in it, which is different than the body, because this is more of a treatment for wood. So we're just gonna put an even layer on the entire fretboard, and we're gonna let it sit there for a while. Well, since this bridge is wood, we're gonna put a little on there. Oh yeah, look at that. That looks good. So now I'm just kind of wiping off this hydration. Since it's a wood treatment, I'm not as worried about getting every drop off, because really what it's doing is it's got oil that's moisturizing the fretboard. So we've cleaned the body, we've hydrated and conditioned the fretboard, and now I have the D'Addario fret polishing system. There's this great, not sandpaper, but a similar concept where you can take these sheets and clean the metal of the fret. What's kind of cool is it has a template for your frets. A narrow fret slot or a jumbo. And so all that means is we don't want to grind down any of the fretboard. So what it does is it covers the fretboard and just exposes the fret itself, that we can now really get in and get down to business in cleaning that sucker. So look at that, I'm only on like the 4th fret, and we're just getting all that grime, finger grime, and gunk, I think is the perfect word. We went through 1, we went through 2, we went through 3, and we went through all 4 here. But look at these frets. I mean, I need my sunglasses to tell you the truth. So in the D'Addario maintenance kit, it has another all-purpose tool. It's got this key here that can adjust the truss rod. Now, when we've looked at it with strings on, and it's an old guitar, we could probably tighten the neck a little bit just to be safe, and then if we find that it needs more tightening, we can do it later. So I'm gonna stick this key into this little slot here where the truss rod is. Sometimes the truss rod adjustment is right here on the headstock. This one's right here. And I'm just gonna turn it a quarter turn clockwise, just to tighten it a bit. All right, so we've cleaned the guitar, we've maintained it, we've conditioned the fretboard, we've cleaned the frets, and now I'm gonna put this little, funny little syringe here of lubricant, which you can put in the nut, and really what that does is it just stops from any sticking, and it will actually help your guitar stay in tune better, which I know all you tone boys out there like that. All right, it's time to put strings on this bad boy. I just so happen to have a set of D'Addario strings right here. So I got a pack of D'Addario XTs, 12 to 53. This is a new offering from D'Addario, and these XTs are for an extended life and a natural feel. So let's check them out. All right, we've gone through a bunch of steps, and now there are strings on the guitar. Here we go. Look at that. Look at the flame on that. Don't look at it. All right, so we've done a lot of work now on this guitar. We've completely cleaned the body, conditioned the fretboard, cleaned the frets, adjusted the truss rod, put new strings on it, tuned it up, stretched the strings out, and now we're gonna give it a little play. All right, one final thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna apply this XLR8, which is a string cleaner and lubricant, but really, it just feels really great. It makes the strings feel real slinky on your fingers, and also adds life to the strings. It's a great thing to do after you play as well. A little spongy little stamp, and you just rub it up and down the strings, like so. All right, I just had a blast playing this guitar, and I can tell you it was like night and day how it felt and sounded and played after we put a little time into it. I just think there's a lot to be said for going out there and finding a little diamond in the rough and putting a little time into it. It didn't take that much time, but just putting a little bit of energy into it to turn kind of a just halfway decent guitar to a really nice playing guitar. I mean, under $200. And there's no way that I can get a guitar this nice for $150 going online or going into a guitar store. But you have to go find it. But that was part of the fun, was going on a little adventure, having that one speak to you that you know has potential. Now, I tried a bunch of guitars today, and this one is the one I picked because one, the price, and two, even though it was all beat up, I could fret a note and hear that there were no dead notes on the guitar. So that was something that really jumped out at me. And I also could see the potential in the guitar itself. Now, I was initially inspired to make this video because I get asked all the time about buying a cheap first guitar. This is an option that gets overlooked a lot. So don't be afraid to go out on an adventure of your own and find a guitar that you can fix up like this one. Also, I want to thank D'Addario for sponsoring this video. After we got the guitar, obviously I used a lot of different products to kind of put the final touches on it, and hopefully it inspires you to go out and do the same thing. So thanks again for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Take care.